small neck also, so that also is a problem. So then
That's
it's
great.
like,
Your shoulders enough to like support.
yeah.
You need
so
a dick pillow, just like for your neck.
what?
A dick pillow? You don't have that?
What is this thing?
Where you come from? A pillow for your cock
No.
after it's done being used.
No, I think those are hands.
My rooster, I meant. Like, my rooster after fighting.
You have a rooster you take to fights,
Yeah, where else would you take a rooster? To lay eggs.
no to fuck chickens.
That's
So
what we
that
do by default.
I really want to get a couple of chickens and a rooster for the farm.
You have a farm, no?
Yeah.
I keep because I.
Dude,
listen
you
to
should
all your-
come, dude. Once
your
come,
farm.
like,
I've heard mangoes.
dude,
being
mango bingo
distributed.
chod, like as a
Murgi leke aa.
as a point of inspiration, like as a place to come and just
Dude,
like
yeah.
clear your head
Yeah.
and just like absorb nature in all its glory. It's a very
Listen,
beautiful
I'm in
place.
Bangalore. I'm absorbing nature.
No, not
What
like this.
nature are you absorbing in Bangalore?
Yeah.
Kubon Park wala.
मेरे पास मैंगो ट्री है घर में एक.
Oh,
नहीं,
wow.
वो
देख
सब
रहे
cute
हो?
है,
Mango
but
आता है?
मैंगो आता
हाँ.
है.
Oh, but ऐसा वाड़ी में when you're walking around, no, it's like and we are a completely organic वाड़ी, so it's not
Oh.
like no pests and all. You'll see bugs, you'll see flies, things will
Yeah.
bite
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
He
It's a
thinks
very-
that's an exciting
That's
proposition.
so exciting.
Like कीड़े दिखने मिलेगा देखो
सिटी
कीड़ा.
से आई हूँ मैंने
मेरे को
कभी
तो बहुत-
देखा नहीं.
मुझे बहुत अच्छा
लगता है. It's a caterpillar.
You know, that's not a selling point that everybody is
I-
like gung-ho about.
Fair, but I feel like the bugs are also very chill there. Like the photos I get of bugs there, I don't get anywhere else. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Because
they
they're
pose
in
for
their
me.
ecosystem thriving, moisturized.
They're having a good time.
I'm sure because
This motherfucker posed for me, dude. Like for a
Oh,
good
wow.
like 4-5 minutes he posed.
Ooh.
I got all the photos I wanted, and then I literally said bye and it flew away, dude. It was great.
उसको मौत आ रही थी.
And if you see like starting में
I cannot.
starting में दूर से ले रहा था मैं, ठीक है. And then as it went by, I got closer. Like then I was
Yeah.
like right in its face.
That's some Paris Hilton thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's fucking
look at
cool
it.
shit.
Silence of the Akash. Do you know have you seen the Silence of the? You're a graphic designer, so you
Yeah.
would. You're an illustrator
yeah.
in general, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but you did the poster of Silence of the
Yeah,
Lambs
the
is
thing,
Clarice
moth.
Starling, like Jodie Foster's face, and
Yeah.
then there's a moth ka form, okay?
Ah.
And for years, everybody was just like, oh, it's just a moth on her face. And then they zoomed in a little bit, and they realized that the moth ka pattern is just dead girls ka bodies in
What are you
different forms.
Ah.
It is. Just look at the poster
Oh,
again
dear.
and zoom in, and you'll see.
Shame on me. As
Yeah, exactly. I also like took years to find it out, but I'm just gonna show it to you because it's such a revelation when you
Yeah.
see like the movie plot is in the fucking poster. I love that when they do that. Even Everything Everywhere All at Once ka poster
What a great
that
poster.
is
What a great
like, you
film.
can keep looking at it forever,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like,
and find more things. Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
James Jean did that, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you do
James
this,
Dean?
Jean.
Oh.
John. I don't know how to pronounce.
Jean, it's definitely it's
Jacques
phonetic.
Jean.
One of those. Yeah.
Jean-Jacques.
See,
What are you saying? No.
Show it to them. Show it to the camera.
That's
okay.
a very
Yeah,
like Mandarin.
just Google that shit.
surrealism.
Yeah, if
can't
you
see it.
Google Silence of the Lambs and zoom in on the moth
That's-
on Clarice Starling's face,
that's the-
my camera, bitch. Like the videographer is telling me wrong camera.
No, it's just show it to the nearest camera was the idea. But sure, Navin.
First of all, I find a fact, then I have to make that. The producer should be fucking interspersing the footage over here. So
Welcome to Varta Lab, guys.
when I bitch and complain for no reason, I'll build with
today we
facts.
have,
I'm learning graphic design too.
Yeah.
We have
That's
Grumpy
amazing.
Naveen and actually an old friend, like a really, really old friend as a guest. A friend who I made when I did not think it was like the idea, when the internet was in its nascency. We were still socializing on it. Back when it was actually about meeting new people.
Meeting new people, yeah.
And there was this website, if you might remember, called Orkut.
Yeah.
And Orkut used to have this community called Indian Amateur Writers, IAW. And Neethi and I were both on Indian Amateur Writers. Neither of us technically became writers after.
Yeah, I don't think we had a chance.
But that's why we were amateurs, right? Like
Yeah.
the word amateur is to love something. Like that's where it comes from. It's,
Yeah.
so I guess we just loved writing.
I mean, yeah, those English lessons we took so seriously. I
Yeah.
guess.
It's crazy because like the idea of writing is always so driven by you have to keep doing it for other people
Yeah.
in this country at least. Like
Yeah.
I meet so many writers across the pond of like writing. And some of them are very like there are soap writers, okay, like who are just
Yeah.
like writing Star Plus or like Sony TV shows for years,
Yeah.
and they're pretty chill because उनका मलाड में घर निकल गया उसकी वजह से
Yeah.
उनको मिल जाता है मस्त स्विगी पे खाने का ऑर्डर का
My
लाइफ
husband
लग्जरी.
from Malad से ही आ रहे हैं अभी.
Your husband from Malad.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Now he's in Bangalore.
That's
is
from
what
Maladi.
happened.
निकल गए वहाँ से.
Bangalore, you move. No, it's a better choice only. Yeah. I've been thinking about this for a while. I was going to say thonking about this because I talk to my cats a lot nowadays, and everything I say is such a bizarre iteration of what people say.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, I won't say chicken, I will say chimkin. I won't say,
Ah.
you want to go outside, I want to go outside.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I talk now.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah,
like-
me too. I talk to
Yeah.
my dog like
Yeah.
in a language that I made
And,
up.
and I read some research apparently that they understand that, like tonality, immediately they
Yeah.
understand
Yeah.
when you change to the
Yes.
language you talk with them, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Yeah, but hey,
Coming
just to finish the story, and when I was on IAW, I met Neethi,
Yeah.
and then both of us realized that we want to do other things in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And lo and behold, to my surprise, like cut to like fucking God knows maybe 10 years later or whatever the fuck,
Yeah.
and like now she's like a graphic designer and a muralist. Muralist, is that the right?
It is.
Yeah, and she-
Muralist, illustrator.
Yeah, and I tell dick jokes. You know what I mean? Like life has really progressed since for one of us.
You're an oralist. That's what you are. But I love the fact that like you get to work with art but in a grander scale of things, like
Yeah.
especially with murals or with like graffiti. It's such a joy as a viewer to see, what will this turn out to be, right?
Yeah.
Like, and for you'll have that vision. At least I hope you have the vision when starting
try.
off. Yeah.
Do you have a freehander mural? I don't
No.
think you can freehand.
Yeah.
I mean, I do abstract paintings, which is freehand, but I am also an illustrator. I'm a sucker for like making things the way I planned it.
Right.
But at the same time, I do this activity called paint by numbers. Now, what I do is like essentially what the Warhol did, right? Make a grand painting and then sketch it out, number it, and then everybody comes and destroys it, and then I fix it later. But it's so much fun to see everybody in their element and like take a brush and like everybody to know, oh, this is very therapeutic. And I'm like, therapeutic to nahi lagta mere ko, but it's definitely something that helps me engage with people, and people feel like it's part of whatever things that I'm making. Or it's definitely.
But that's a
different
nice way to include the community into the thing, right? Because
Yeah.
as opposed to getting them on the planning stage. Because
Yeah.
if you ask them कि क्या
Yeah.
बनाना है,
Yeah.
तो दिमाग का ये हो जाता ना फिर.
Yeah. No, it is difficult as long. I mean, I do workshops where that also happens sometimes, but definitely it's something that you don't want to think, right? You're coming to chill, or like maybe at an event, or like maybe it's a wall that you found on the road. You want to come and just express yourself for a little bit and go and feel like you're part of something. So that
Yeah. Initially, like when they would have all these art school students, like younger students
In Mumbai
doing
to a lot.
in the walls,
Yeah.
right? Like they were like, okay, like and it became so much like, save trees, plastic
Yeah.
is bad.
Yeah,
And they're like, कि जाना वो सब मालूम हम लोग को, दूरदर्शन पे
But
भी
the
दिखा
new
रहे.
stuff is great.
New stuff is great. What I'm
The-
saying.
Have
like,
you seen the new ones at Worli and all of those murals?
I have seen things in passing, but also like the scene like of people coming out and on the streets, or even just painting murals. It's all opened up so much.
Yeah.
Even corporates are sponsoring walls, and everything's
Yeah.
beautiful now.
Especially Bangalore had like an entire beautification phase where like it had gone to shit for a while, and like every wall was like a dumping wall where like there was garbage collected, and then the citizens were just like, fuck this shit. They came, cleaned up the garbage, and then they beautified the walls, and they were just like self-proclaimed artists essentially. But then over time, like across cities now, when I traveled around the country this time, my whole obsession with like wall art was like renewed, because there are these young artists who are just doing it.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're like, fuck this, it's been so bad for so long, and we just have these sad ass walls.
Yeah.
So if you go to like Khan Market area in Delhi, or like in Delhi especially, like it's such
Delhi is like
it's a vibing art culture where like every wall is got something or the other, and it's beautiful. It's not like the like save the trees or save the children or whatever.
I work with Start India for a project in Ukadam, and now they do art districts now at these places that people don't generally go to, and try to promote it as an art district. So that's something that's happened in Chennai. There's one in Coimbatore now. Of course, they've done Lodi Art District in Delhi as well, and Khirki and all that. So that's something that inspired me to paint also at that scale, because I was doing my desk job and doing some graphic design thing, and I saw outside the window and someone's painting, and I was like, yeah, that's where I want to be.
It's very poetic.
That's how it
Well, let's
started, though.
rewind to that idea. Like, how
And
did you?
just imagine though that guy's on the art doing whatever. Like, I want her job because she has money, a steady pay, and here I'm Amir Khan from Money.
So what was that journey, that blackout that I have of your life from IAW to to a desk job doing graphics?
Can
What
we
was
also
that?
like quickly
But
like
just-
before?
can I just,
let's all have one moment of what you want to say.
Yeah, like just rewinding back to IAW, like
Orkut,
Orkut, dude, like it was Indian Amateur Writers, right? This was I think I was 15. You must be what, 7? I don't know. How old.
7.
Dude, it was I had a shock of my life, and I discovered that he had a Johnny Depp profile picture. I don't know why I remember all this.
I didn't have a Johnny Depp.
You had
profile.
some sort of a
It
pirate.
was Johnny Bravo
something.
for
It
sure.
was definitely not.
It
But
was-
it was
something-
a Ghost Rider skull was the
Probably.
That was very common.
the
back
blue
then.
color fire one.
Yeah, a boy called Atharva in my college had the same thing. And I could never imagine Atharva without that. For some reason.
Athara. I don't know what your username was, but it was not your name.
Fat Man Rambles.
Yeah,
Probably.
that was what he was before Koji Mehta.
Yeah, and he used to talk like
An old dude.
Yeah, like a 56-year-old uncle, and I was like, yeah, he's because we like more than writing, I enjoyed critiquing other people, and I think you were like critiquing everybody, and I was like,
Nice.
who is this person? And then I found out that he's in college doing law that time.
No, this is even before law, dude. This
Yeah,
is-
I mean, when we met the first time
Yeah.
in Bombay, I was in shock. I'm like, who is this little boy?
Back then he was doing law.
Yeah, and then from there to
Yeah.
comedy, and like so much of pivot has happened in your life as well.
Yeah,
so
I just went
insane.
with it. Like I didn't really have any say or thought or anything in it. I
Yeah.
think it was just
That's
like
the best part about doing this also. Actually.
But you still talk like a 56-year-old.
I do.
You do,
That's
so
true.
that
That's true.
things have not
Aakash is
changed.
the only person in my group where he was like, "Mujhe shadi karna hai."
Ah.
And I'm like, why? He's like, I like the mundaneness of shadi. I just
Yeah.
want that to wake up to the same person every day. I'm like, who the fuck talks like that before they're even 30? Like, मुझे बिल भरना है साथ में, मुझे टैक्सेस करना है.
Romance.
वो सब उसको इंटरेस्टिंग लगता है. Like, बुड्ढा
Very
आदमी.
in line with your
Yeah.
character.
And still rebelling against his family. That's too funny. Like, तू ये आकाश 56 साल का, उसका बाप 81 साल का. Like, what the fuck? What is 81? I don't know. I just said a number. But I like that idea of like Orkut also being one of those spaces where like just anything went, man.
OG
And-
safe space.
OG safe space,
It
and it was
was.
such a like I was a queer kid, right, growing up, and very rarely, like, because you're hiding behind a handle, and you have like there was no real outlet for me apart from the fact that I could design the wall of my Orkut page
Yeah.
like I wanted. So I made it the gayest thing possible. I had the gayest Jigglypuff was my fucking Pokemon face, you know. And then like I met other queer people through that only around
Yeah.
the world, like black people, Hispanic people from America writing
Yeah.
to me,
Yeah.
calling me cute or whatever
Yeah.
if I've shared a picture with them. So it was just like a very unadulterated time altogether.
Yeah.
And now it's pretty much like if someone wants to find out about me, they have all the information.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like the other day somebody's like, what are you doing at the airport? I'm like, how do you know? They're like, "Ki, like we saw you at the airport and also you've been posting stories at the airport. So
Right.
we
Yeah.
figured you are here only."
Yeah.
And it was such a fucking like and I did this whole thing ki, like, you know, Will Smith from that movie Enemy of the State where you're like, are you watching me? I had that fucking feeling. But it was not that. It's just like our lives are so unnecessarily out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I miss the privacy
We
of it
also
all.
we were able to curate a version of ourselves, right?
Yeah.
That was so important to us.
But at the same time,
that
be
time.
real. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, of
course. Yeah.
Unlike the be real thing that's coming
Or rather,
now.
the
You
be
have
the
to make an app called Be Real now. It's
To be
but
real.
it's like that, right? Like earlier, it was you can't be who you are
in the real world.
in the real world,
Yeah.
so you kind of be that person there, and
Yeah.
there are some embellishments, if at all, right?
Yeah.
Like aesthetically.
Badges and shit.
And now it's like forget being who you are in the real world. Online, you have to be the version of online version. Like
and
you know
that
what I
too,
mean?
whatever is trending, not
Yeah.
even like your
Like
version of
what
it.
you believe in has to change with the season. What you
Correct.
celebrate has to change with the festive and the brand that's paying you to celebrate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Halloween is a thing now. It's
Yeah, Halloween is a. Oh, don't get me started.
It's a full thing.
Yeah, I hate Halloween so much. I had to go to a Halloween party.
What is this party thing? I missed the whole boat in there. And when did
There's
Halloween
this
party?
last week. There's Geek Fruit does a Halloween party, which by the way is a banger party. No, nothing, not taking away from the party. The music, especially Tejas and everybody, like they're on the Geek Fruit guys are on stage and it's wow. It's a lot of fun. But to me, the idea कि now fucking like that's how I see it कि अब ये भी करना पड़ेगा. Like अब तक कुछ कम था क्या? जा सकते ना Caterpillar बैठते ना बात करते ना ये क्या है यार? You know, or just go to like you know what I mean? Like why does it need Halloween for me to go and watch Tejas? Why can't I just go watch Tejas generally in a
In
gig?
his house.
No, at a gig, like generally at a gig, you
Why
know.
can't I just watch stages while he's sleeping? why can't that happen?
I told you that in confidence.
Oh my god. I have a vision in my mind now. What can I do? Next mural.
Yeah, but I have videos of Aakash dancing and losing his shit, so I don't know what he's complaining about. Where he
Eventually, I had a lot of fun.
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah.
But the
And
process,
he came in just like a tracksuit, okay? And we're like, what the fuck are you? And he's like, I don't know. So I'm like, okay, you're that guy from Squid Game, like in
so I was like,
tracksuit.
boom. Yeah,
You're like,
sure.
boom. We are telling him what he is on a Halloween costume night.
But that's already happening. No, the fact that you're telling me it's Halloween and I have to fucking celebrate it is this in line with that only?
Yeah, and funniest was our friend Anuj Mehta who won the costume contest.
Yeah.
He came as Uma Thurman from Pulp Fiction, like with the bob hair and
Whoa.
And
the chest needle and everything.
Yeah.
But motherfucker's never seen Pulp Fiction. I'm like, I want to fucking slap you, you know?
Yeah.
I went with Anuj last night for a movie. I went to watch Black Adam.
Oh, nice.
And Anuj is a great person. I love him.
What time did you go?
11 p.m.
Fuckers, you should have told me I would have come.
11 you would have come.
Yeah, because I was at Hap till 9:30.
Oh shit. I thought you would be in Grant Road, man.
No, for this I would have come.
Since you left car, we don't care about you.
It's true.
It's true. It's true. Like, he was in the zeitgeist, but he's not. Like, now we're in the Vile Parle St. Guru's car area, having all the fun.
Happening.
Vile Parle car.
And I'm in Bandra being married. Like,
Yeah.
Sorry,
In
Grant
Grant
Road.
Road,
I'm
yeah.
coming from
married.
Malad, so no question.
You don't have to keep reiterating.
I just like, I feel like people.
You don't have to justify
I'm
yourself.
just
We
like-
know what rents are like in this city.
It's like rickshaw pakadna pada. Malad rickshaws are like a horrible fucking enemy of the state.
Yeah.
That's what Malad rickshaws are. But no, coming to the point, Anuj is one of those people who like gets very excited about movies. Okay, and I'm that guy who's like I zone in on the film trailers. Bhi I made एकदम प्यार शिद्दत से देखूंगा मैं.
Yeah.
And then when the movie is done. And for a Marvel movie, unless the last credit rolls, I'm not fucking talking to people, even my boyfriend or whatever. But Anuj loves live critiquing the movie. Okay?
Imagine if you had taken me, I would have sat between y'all and I would have been the wall.
The cushion,
Yeah, but no. You had to
Yeah.
be...
It's okay.
You had to be a geographist.
I love and then like I think some trailer was playing for some bullshit lady movie, like lady movie as I don't say as a woman movie, as like
A bullshit lady
and
movie.
like a Downton Abbey lady, like oh madam, you see I'm a girl and I'm bullshit whatever. So one of those kind of movies, and I was just like, isn't she in that movie? And I'm like, bro, just don't be that guy right now. Just like the entire row is looking at us, and then as soon as I calmed him, one girl from that side started talking, and I'm like, yeah, this is Keema kya. Sorry. Get very frustrated.
The rage.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then coming back, what was your thing?
Oh, my thing. Which thing now? From
From general, like, cause
From
you
my
studied,
life.
didn't you study engineering or
No,
some shit?
dude, no way. Like I like came in some lakhs in my rank in my whatever. Like I went to
Lakho
give the
meg.
lakho.
yeah.
Should use that. No, I went to give my AIEEE exam without specs.
Nice.
Specs नहीं है 1 घंटा late पहुंची. They still let me in, dude. Like I was like, wow, okay, I have to do it, I guess now.
Yeah, like the triple E still left. AI is over.
Anyway, of course.
engineer.
No, so that time I was doing. I mean, PCM भी लिया था. I mean, death to myself and.
PCM
that's
all
where
four you took.
Sub I took.
That's where I left her story. Because like
That's what
when
Audacity.
she was on Orkut.
People actually go for PCB or PCM, like just to play safer.
Yeah, and then so I mean, I was like, सब ले लेते हैं देखते क्या होता है.
क्या ही हो
And
जाएगा.
कुछ हुआ नहीं उसका. It was very stressful in school and all. I was like, ये नहीं पढ़ I cannot do this. So I was like English honors because Indian amateur writers.
Yeah.
So like sounds great. I'll try to do that. So my thing was, I'm from Delhi. I grew up in Delhi and I grew up in Saket. School was in Hoska. So 5 kilometer, 6 kilometer radius से बाहर ही नहीं निकली हूँ कभी life में.
Yeah.
Then I got into college, Kamala Nehru, which is also like right next to. So I was like, I cannot be here and everything is girls' school, girls' college. मैं नहीं कर सकती, मेरे को निकलना है यहाँ से. So I was like, okay, whatever comes my way, I'll take it. Then I gave a NIFT exam and I was like, let me try this. So NIFT Delhi is also in Hoskas. So I was like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
NIFT Kannur. So I was trying for Shillong. So Shillong, Kannur, and I think one more center had opened up back then. So it was new centers, and I think government was promoting textiles and things like that, and generally NIFT to be open in different cities. So I said, okay, let me go. So Shillong, somehow convinced my parents I want to go to Shillong. And then my mother was sitting beside me, and then like, let's Google about it, how to reach Shillong. And the first thing it came was helicopters. So for some reason that came and my mother started crying. She's like, I'll give you, like, I mean, some trivia it was, I
Helicopter?
think. Some trivia it was. And
About helicopters.
About reaching Shillong in a helicopter, doing something. My mother lost her shit. I was like, okay, fine, I'm not
She's
going.
seen too many Hollywood movies, but like if a
कुछ तो
helicopter shows up in the movie, it has
नहीं
to go
उधर
down.
नक्सल्स आ जाएंगे कुछ भी हो जाएगा.
Helicopter.
Shillong mein.
So they had a whole thing. So I was like, no, I'm not going.
So
it's
then?
fine. Then I went to Kerala. And I
But you
went
had
to
an option
Kannur.
or what to pick which NIFT and all?
So yeah, you get after you give your exam and
You
then
must
you
have
have
got,
like
usme you were not lakhon mein ek, I'm assuming.
no, I was okay. I was not like ek, but but it was fine. And I got some options and I went to Kannur. Kannur is my hometown now. So my parents are from Kannur, and never in my wildest dreams I thought I'll go back to Kerala.
Go back to your roots.
Yeah.
No
And then
helicopters there.
there's nothing there. Trust
Full
me.
nature, no, but like
KFC
nature.
bhi baad mein aaya. Types. There was nothing. There was one Baskin Robbins and there was no mall. There's no CCD. They didn't open CCD for the longest time because like girls and boys will go and sit there together. Like
That can't be allowed.
How can that
I mean, it's happening right now and it's a travesty. It's only allowed because he's gay.
People don't understand that nature is the best fuck point. Like, why would you go to a... Like, have you watched any amateur Indian porn? It's all in the jungle.
Yeah.
They're all going behind their houses and doing
Nature
it.
is the
Beach.
best fuck point.
Yeah.
Next t-shirt.
Put it on the fucking newspapers
I'll
tomorrow.
help you design it.
In my head, that song is still playing. Helicopter, helicopter. Have you heard that from the reels? I don't know where it came from.
Yeah.
It's too funny.
Yeah. So, but
that's
then
fun.
Kunur would have been like a...
Kannur. So Kannur is
Kannur,
in Kerala. Yeah. Kannur
Kannur
is
is
the
different.
hill
Sorry,
station.
my
Yeah.
bad.
Hill station. This is the
but
beach.
You North Indians.
Arguably. But then,
Yeah,
like,
Madrasi.
is it a nice incubating point? Like, I feel like that's a good way. Like, when
Yeah.
you're learning a skill, but in like sort of like
Isolation,
a
yeah.
isolation
Yeah.
place. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
when we were in it, we didn't, of course, appreciate it. But the moment
Right.
we got out, we were like, wow, that was something.
Yeah.
But but we were like, teenagers. I mean, what? 19-year-old.
21, yeah.
19-year-old, and then we wanted to explore the world, and we would go to Chennai, wow, city, Calicut,
dikha,
wow,
wow.
city, mall dikh raha hai, and lights, and like we were very fascinated by that time. And so then,
Despite being from Delhi.
yeah, that's what, like 1 year of it. Like now we know with lockdown and all. Back then it felt like lockdown only.
Delhi is an overgrown village only. It's just like...
But a lot of malls for an overgrown village.
Select
Yeah.
City Walk came when I was growing
Yeah,
up.
right.
So,
Like
yeah.
I remember that entire stretch was
Used to
just
be-
mall.
yeah, used to
mall.
be village walk before that. So then we graduated.
Yeah.
Saket. That's the announcement of the Saket. I'm like, okay, daddy.
No. So yeah. So then I studied textiles, and then I realized the industry. I mean, it's
So
okay.
when you say you study textiles,
Yeah,
like
textile
I've heard
design.
a lot of people say it, but how do you study textiles?
you learn
You
about
rub them
the
against your face.
Yeah, it's like ये मलमल है, हाँ, ये सिल्क है,
but ऐसा ही
ये
है.
खादी है,
ऐसा ही होता है ना?
you should feel it.
Yeah.
Why not?
स्पर्श.
The cheek is a great way to tell stuff. Like it's very sensitive. This.
Then I don't want to use that like your neck pillow.
नहीं मैं नहाता हूँ यार ऐसा मत बोल.
थूकता भी उसके ऊपर.
Oh man.
Yeah. So
But
studied
textiles
it.
is like what is the job if you do textiles?
You make garments or like you get into home furnishing. Make chaddar, bedsheet, ये सब बनाया मैंने.
Okay.
Chaddar,
Gingham.
pillow,
Gingham print. I love gingham.
tablecloth. It was
Yeah.
it was interesting.
You
I
worked
did
at a
that.
company, no?
Yeah, multiple companies in the
Wow.
beginning. Yeah, a lot of jobs and things like that. And it was eventually I thought, oh, I want to do advertising. It's a Mad Men. मैंने binge watch किया था.
अरे very nice.
So I was like, what is this about? I'll come to Bangalore and find out.
मैडमैन देख के कोई औरत को एडवर्टाइजिंग करना हो ऐसा
I
मैंने
know.
कम सुना है.
That's
वो
amazing.
शो not the best reflection.
Yeah.
Very accurate but not the best.
Not the
Yeah.
best, but
But like I like Mad Men for one thing, that it prepares you to face the industry of advertising, and then you actually get in and you realize how fuck all
yeah,
it is.
yeah, and I'm like, they were right. Yeah, everything is
It's
true.
actually a fictional show. It makes sense
Yeah.
because nothing what they show from the 50s. मतलब whole time पे हुआ रहेगा, like
Yeah.
when the brands were new and they were like coming up with tangible ideas or whatever. But now advertising is just shit.
Yeah.
It's just like कितना Instagram post हम डाल सकते
Yeah.
तुम्हारे लिए, carousel बनाएंगे,
Yeah.
reel बनाएंगे. अरे
I'm
यार,
sure you
fuck
have
off, man.
advertisers, don't you?
Oh, that reminds me. I'll tell you before we go into the break, into the commercial break. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
But but then it's like it's a weird transition.
It
like
is,
from
it
from a like thing to an unlike thing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
in the sense that you've learned all these years how to do this, and then but does that knowledge transfer into when you're like
Not immediately, but the thing is, it comes around. So after like say 6 years of all of that, I did advertising. Then I worked in a startup. Did some car wash something. So I was doing
Car wash?
UI for that, but studying a different sort of industry, right?
Yeah.
So it was always interesting, and finally I got a job at
Why do you
WeWork.
have a Walter White trajectory? I don't understand. Now she cooks meth on the walls.
Farthest
now she
from
paints
that.
methi on the wall?
Yeah. My baby blue.
Maybe it's a lot of blue in my yeah, that's true.
Subtle,
My
yeah.
favorite color to
Yeah.
paint. Yeah.
Science, bitch.
But I think another thing is that you work with governments and all now. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I remember you had done that MP one. Remember you had done the...
So that was interesting. That was came at a point where I was in sort of transitioning between careers, and career means different fields as such. And poor Yahoo, but it was great because it was sponsored by Yahoo. Yahoo and MP Tourism together. I think that was the last great thing that Yahoo did.
I can't even imagine now in this time and age Yahoo sponsoring something.
Yeah. So they sponsored 3-4 artists to go to MP, different parts of MP, and literally was a freewheel. Like you can blog about it.
It was fascinating though. The stuff she made. Like if you get time, go scroll down in that feed. What year was this?
2017.
Yeah, 17 or 18. I remember.
16,
fuck! What great art.
Maybe. Yeah. So it was nice. So, I mean, illustration, and I was stories, and a lot of stories, right? So I went and met so many people, made everybody draw in my. I have an interesting story from that if you have time right now.
We do.
I think that's the only.
That's the whole point of this podcast.
As in this, So I got assigned a great driver. I forgot his name, but he was so amazing. We would talk throughout. मतलब road trip चालू हमारा. खेती से जा रहे हैं. मैं बोल रहा फोटो खींचो मैं अंदर जाके mustard field में, and he's helping me do all of that. And I was doing this project where I was taking my notebook and asking whoever I'm meeting to make a motif. So the last time I wanted to make a GIF out of it and create something with the logo and things like that. So everybody, whoever I met, from the watchman to maybe a security guard for the fort, I will make them draw something that they like, something favorite that they know from MP. So कोई किसी का वो वहाँ के style का bird बना दिया, कोई वहाँ का paisley बना दिया, some tree. And this guy would refuse to draw. He's like, मैं कल करूँगा. Throughout the end of the trip, he just wouldn't do
Typical driver.
No, he was like something else. And then towards the end of it, I realized that he can't write.
Okay.
So he was so like this thing about I was insecure about that he couldn't. And then finally I sort of like break through the wall, and he, you know, the bachpan mein wo karte the 6 or 9 bana ke cat banate the. He made that. I was so happy. It was so sweet.
Cute.
I would make duck out of 2, like this, write 2 and then put a like this, and then becomes a face.
Swan.
Sorry, shit.
Duck नहीं होगा ना.
मैं अपने आप को चूतिया बना रहा था बचपन में.
As a child, I was so bad at drawing. It was not even funny. Like I just didn't understand how to do the coordination of like this is in my brain. Like in my brain, I see the image perfectly.
Yeah.
The minute my hand touches, no, like वो translation घंटे. I did drawing classes for 4 years, dude. Couldn't do jack shit.
You don't need to do anything. AI है ना, सब बना देगा.
अब तो AI है. अब तो है. In fact, we have a pretty active audience that loves to make AI images of shit we talk about and send us.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
We had a Van Gogh rats.
Yeah, we had Rango rats eating momos.
Yeah.
What? I'm gonna go and like, this is on Discord.
Can you teach me how to use one of these AI things?
Sure. I mean, what? It's on Discord.
My Discord I'm logged out of. Give me another way.
There are a lot of
Your fan page is thriving over there.
Dude, you know the fucking problem with Discord is it's some 2-step verification thing, and I changed phones, okay? And now Google is like, नहीं देगा तेरे को login. गांड मरा जो करना है कर, तेरा फोन बदल दिया तूने, अभी नहीं मिलेगा.
Authenticator app has gone on the other.
अरे इसमें authenticator है, मेरा अकाउंट भी synced है, पर मादरचोद दे ही नहीं रहा है मेरे को एंट्री. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Facebook does that. मेरा खुद का Discord से मैं बाहर है.
This happened to me on Facebook on desktop, so I have to keep using a mobile browser. I don't want to have the app on my phone.
Okay.
But like, they're not taking my password. And I'm like, I use the same password on my phone.
Yeah.
Why won't you let me have the desktop? And they're like, no, it's not the right password. I'm like, but email the password to me. The email is still mine. I go to the email and I put the code. They're like, still not you. I'm like, mother chod Mark.
You're AI.
Sometimes I agree with the Kanye. Let's take a small break at this point when we come back.
Hey, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Explain Like I'm 10, Meghna talks to Twitter celeb ROFL Gandhi and stand-up comedian Puneet Panya on what is trolling. On Varta Lab, Aakash and Navin are joined by actor Shruti Seth. They talk about the weirdest events they've hosted and their life on social media. On the Musafir Stories, vlogger and YouTuber Antari Kanvesan takes us to India's little Lhasa, McLeodganj. And on Pop Rap, Snehal, Nikhil and Karan discuss the recently concluded fantasy series House of the Dragon. Don't forget to subscribe to IVM Pop for the latest episodes. Once again, don't forget to visit our merch store on ivmpodcasts.com. We have some exciting stuff for you. Follow us on social media. We are IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and LinkedIn. If you like our shows, spread the word, tell your friends, and don't forget to rate and review them wherever you're listening to them. You'll also find all our shows on youtube.com/IVM podcasts. And finally, we would like to thank our sponsors this week: Bumble, Heads Up for Tails, Kotak Privy League Program, and HDFC Mutual Fund. Thank you for making this possible.
So I'm a huge बचपन से मैं रेडियो सुनती थी हर चीज में.
अच्छा, बचपन से पॉडकास्ट सुनते हैं.
No, but this is like a natural
But
progression.
yeah,
to
same
that.
here. Like it's like the perfect kind of company.
Yeah, so
When you're on a long drive or something.
Oh, I thought you meant IVM.
Welcome back. Second half, just general shitting where we eat.
And record.
And
Yeah.
record.
Yeah.
But what I really love about this is that with stand-up, I think a lot of my style was developed because we never had headphones or monitors. So a lot of the screaming, the energy comes from the idea that even if I can't
You're
hear
in the
me.
void, yeah.
Yeah, but here I'm very conscious. Like I'm way more willing to be soft, unless it's Cyrus's.
Yeah.
In Cyrus's
I love
podcast,
that.
you have to scream.
have to
Yeah,
get in
you
the
can't
word.
get through. No?
Yeah.
Yeah, first time like when I'm performing, like all through our early days were like shitty dance studios, back rooms in some bandra space, or like one gym turned comedy room, barber shops, bars, all of it was.
Wow.
Yeah, we've done like
It's still there.
Yeah,
Like, it's still happening.
barber shop is still
Yeah.
there. We've done comedy in all kinds of weird spaces. And then you go to an Audi where like they give you a monitor.
Yeah.
And then they're like doing sound check क्या हमारे लिए कि like check hello आ रहा है 1 2 3 1 2 3 पीछे आ रहा है बस हाँ चलो. But here they're like check the monitors and I'm like what the fuck is that bro? What is a monitor? And they're like can you hear yourself? I'm like yeah that's fucking creepy. Stop it. Stop it. I don't want to hear myself at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I'd seen like I thought it was always a space for musicians to keep their legs and perform.
Yeah.
You know, so one time I did that in the middle of my set. One guy screamed at me like take your legs off my monitor.
Oh.
I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, you have to be Dave Chappelle to be able to do that.
Yeah.
You can't just put your legs on monitors.
Monitors and all.
Yeah, only class monitors. I used to, every time I use an auditorium,
Have I ever told you where I abused my powers as a class monitor?
I want to hear about this. Welcome back, second half.
We already welcomed them back.
You
We've been
did.
rolling for like the last 5
Shoot.
minutes.
But did we welcome them back?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, okay.
We should Varta Lab second half. We're shitting on places we should not.
Oh, right. I remember now.
Fucking 5
I
seconds
got so
ago.
lost in your voice.
Yeah.
I know, right? I've got a podcasting voice.
It's okay. We'll cut
And
it
face.
Yeah.
out. Sparsh, motherfucker, you will cut it out.
No, he won't.
Yeah, I
He'll
know
keep
he
it. He'll
won't.
keep
He'll
it.
keep everything that makes me look
For
bad.
cutting it out, he has to listen to the entire show.
Yeah, that's true.
It
That's
needs
true.
work.
And he can't fucking scroll his Instagram in the
while
middle.
doing
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
while out transcribing it
Yeah.
or whatever.
How did you abuse your powers?
Oh, so I was mid monitor for a day.
For a day.
Because what, like you know, it was usually like the top ranking kids would get to be monitors, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I was not in those ranges. I was somewhere in the middle only. I was very happy driving in the middle because ज़्यादा किसको impress नहीं करना है because the better you do, the more they expect from you, and they
Yeah.
move you to the front benches. I'm like happy in the third last bench, not
Yeah.
even the last because
Yeah.
last benches I told you. Remember Joseph, the
Yeah,
one who
yeah,
showed
yeah,
dick. I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
You just have to listen to the
I'll
podcast. for
rewind
that.
it. Yeah, I'll have to listen to
So
other
in context. But lekin I used to be like thriving in the third last bench and everything. Then one year like one teacher Thelma करके she was no Thelma
What
की
is
बेटी आई थी.
Hmm.
What's happening? I'll tell you. So our teacher
Thelma
got
की
pregnant.
बेटी आई थी.
Yeah, 6th grade में our teacher got pregnant. Okay, after the
Okay.
first 2 semesters, first 2 months.
Okay.
So then for the rest of the course of the year, one more teacher was appointed, and she was not from our school. She was just some random teacher's daughter who was also a teacher.
Okay.
So she was just there teaching us, okay? And so she kind of doted on me. Like she immediately liked me.
Aww.
And that never happened. All the teachers would like kind of be like, and also I don't know if I've mentioned this to you, but there was a East-West mafia in
Yeah, you were telling me
there was a
about
full like bifurcation that Bhayandar East
Bhayandar.
kids are not as good. So only the Catholic kids from Bhayandar West would get admission in my school.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Okay.
only Catholic kids from Bhayandar East would get admission
admission.
in my school, and Bhayandar West say whatever background say you're okay, karke, okay. So there was already like hatred towards us. So if it was a play, we would get like side roles. Even though I was good at dramatics, it was
Oh.
elocution. I was not given a chance. So I would fight for all these things,
Yeah.
okay. But like this one year, she finally openly like was like, "Yo, I like your vibe. You're a good student. You know, you are really like make everybody laugh. Like you know, for 1 year for my birthday, I got like chocolates and I got tattoos with that." Because one of my church uncles was in Cadbury, so he had gotten like a sheet of
Nice.
tattoos. Okay, you know when
Nice.
Cadbury had that thing where
Yeah.
you would have blood from your lips or like bandit wala thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bandit.
So I gave it to all the kids. That caused a different controversy altogether, by the way, which I should not mention now, because like all the kids went and put that thing, and the mothers were all after school were like, "Ki khoon aa raha hai mere bachche ko,"
Yeah.
and they were like, "Khoon nahi hai, tattoo hai," whatever. But I just It's too funny.
International provocateur, Navin Narona.
Navin Narona.
Halloween before.
There was a third eye one, dude. That was the most,
yeah,
was the most
yes.
fucked up thing.
Yeah.
It was an eye.
वो किसी को लगाने नहीं दिया तो जो रोगन लगाता है अभी.
Like, we used to put all the kids in my class are putting third eye over here and walking around like fucking their gods. But so this teacher was very nice to me. Okay, so then she was like, now one monitor was resigned from her job.
Okay.
So they were like, Navin, will you do it? Because like
Why
everybody
did she resign?
I don't know, man. 6th grade, I don't
Things are
remember that
leaving.
part.
She had to focus on studies, man.
I don't know. Maybe she went to help with the pregnancy for the teacher. I don't know where she fucking went.
That's weird.
But I was given that job for like a day.
Hmm.
And I was like, great. I always wanted to be a monitor. You know, like write roll numbers down on the board. If you're talking, I'm going to write your roll number down.
Yeah.
Make a board and then tell the
Yeah.
teacher and all that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was like, I don't know how power corrupted me so fast. Dude. I was a nice middling kid in the back benches, as I was saying. But immediately I'm like, now I'm this kid. If you talk in front of me, I'll fucking, complain about you. And my very good friend Aaron, okay, was my good friend only. So he started like mocking me because I'm like, he's like, you're becoming this person.
Yeah, you're changing.
Teacher's pet or whatever. So in the lunch break
This
recess.
is all in the course of one day.
One day, okay. Morning I've become monitor. Afternoon powers gotten to me. Lunch break mein I take a scale and I hit him.
Oh.
Whoa.
And
Knuckles
the scale breaks in half over here on the thighs. Okay.
Shit.
I was I was Daenerys Targaryen for 1 second. I broke the scale, dude, and that's when I realized, oh fuck! Like hitting him would have been one thing, but breaking the scale on his thighs
Yeah.
was a whole different. Now parents are gonna get involved.
Yeah.
So I was thrown away as a
Yeah.
monitor
That was
Wow.
and made to kneel like this for like the rest of the day.
Oh no.
And then she lost a little bit of respect for me, which I
Yeah.
felt bad. I was like, why am I impressing this bitch? I'm not even straight.
Wow. What does that have to do
She's
with
not
it?
going to be there also tomorrow.
Yeah,
like-
but in hormonal years, like a lot of boys were like, "Oh, she's so cute" and all, and I'm just fond of her because she's fond of me.
Yeah.
Right.
That was the whole thing.
Yeah. Were you ever like a studious student? Were you ever given responsibilities?
Yeah, I became what do you call the prefect?
Yeah, monitors.
Prefect
House
and
captain.
house
Monitor,
captain.
yeah.
House captain, and so my house was always St. Francis. It was a
Okay.
green color.
Hey, ours was a greenhouse.
Yeah, it was a greenhouse,
We were
yeah.
called Jupiter though for some reason.
Jupiter. We had like Christian school, so it
I
was
was Red
fully-
House, and we called Red House only. Didn't have names.
No, so so crazy story was that I didn't know this. Like bachpan se I've been on by mistake St. Francis. Whenever I got a chance to sort of shuffle it, I never changed it. And then at some point in life, when my grandfather was still alive, I went to Kerala to meet. We were having a chat or something, and this came out. We were talking about something, and he mentioned how back in the day they used to convert to Christianity to just get good education.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah.
do actually, by
They
the
do.
way.
Yeah. That's why that whole phrase rice bag is inaccurate. You know what I mean? It should be
Education
diploma
bag.
degree.
Yeah, diploma bag.
Yeah, so I think something like that had happened, and they had done. I mean, I don't know if it's okay to say, but like, yeah,
Sweet.
he had done, and his given name was Francis also. I was like,
Oh.
wow, that's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
but
then he
the
got-
chances of somebody being Francis or Xavier in South
That's
are
true.
tremendously high because that's the saint who came first.
Right.
Yeah.
Francis Xavier is the saint who
Yeah.
spread Catholicism down
was he a
south.
Jesuit priest? Was he a...
I don't remember, man. But I think he was some kind of priest, and
Yeah.
like he's the one whose body is still kept in Bomb Jesuit Church.
Yeah.
So they still show you the zombie of his body, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh wow, देखो
Wow.
क्या मस्त
And
बना
they
है."
say कि उसका nail का length, हाथ का length बढ़ता है or some
No,
nail का length.
the rumor was his hand flew to Vatican on its own,
Oh.
and that's how they were like, "ये हाथ कहाँ से है?" They're like, "कि Goa से है." चलो Goa. Go Goa. And that's how that's Vatican. And
I
it
was like-
bullshit they teach us, man, as kids.
I was the deputy head boy for a year.
What is
And
a
the-
deputy head boy?
So it's like 9th standard mein you get all the deputy positions
right.
and 10th standard mein
Oh.
all the main positions.
It's too much
And
hierarchy.
then there was this whole like conspiracy to get me out of the election in the 10th standard.
Wow, full on
Yeah,
politics.
where they managed to get me. They didn't let me stand only for the election
Yeah.
for head boy, even
to lie
though
down.
like I was the front runner
Yeah,
guy.
you're the headiest boy.
Really? That's
Yeah.
so-
And then they were like, okay, we'll let you be house captain. You know what I mean? And then I was house captain.
That's great.
Yeah. I was pretty good though. I took us to a marching trophy and all after like 14 years and shit.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, but I was quite. I was never quite. The power was always an uncomfortable thing for me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Because I knew there is an inner asshole.
You do the same if you were in my position.
Yeah, like I didn't break any scales.
That's a wooden scale. Can you imagine
That's a
plastic
lot.
ones break easily?
Yeah.
A wooden
How?
scale.
और वो भी inner thigh पे क्या चिपका
Your
Bone-
friend.
Yeah.
Half a day. Not even a day.
That's why I was like, I don't want any of this. When around like when the prefects and the monitor were happening, I'm like whatever.
Yeah.
Sports day, my whole agenda was how to escape sports day because they would lock our ground down. Okay, and they would keep teachers on the other side of the fucking walls. So one boy jumped the wall, teacher caught him, brought him back, and now he had a twisted leg and he was at sports day. Okay, like that kind of shit. Okay, so one day sports day ke time pe, I'm just sitting. The games are done. Everybody's won awards. It's third day of sports day. It's like they're announcing the awards.
3 day sports
3
day.
day ka sports day. Like, first day. So first day is all the smaller events like long jump,
Right.
running races, 100 meters, relay races, shot put, discus throw. All of that happens then. Second day is the football matches, the volleyballs, the crickets, and like the bigger team matches, right?
I'm fascinated that your
So
school in
much,
Bhayandar had
yeah.
more sports than my school in
Absolutely.
in
Dude,
town.
we had a massive ground.
Yeah.
तो like Saturday शादी के लिए जाता है और Monday को हम लोग वहाँ पे जाके sports
हाँ,
खेलते हैं
हाँ.
and then we'd
Yeah.
find and we were such stupid kids we like we'd find like a mutton का bone and be like यहाँ पे dinosaur था हमारे ground में dinosaur था हम लोग ने ऐसा excavate किया इसको
Dude, हमारे
छुट्टे बच्चे लोग क्या हड्डी उठा के बोल रहे कि dinosaur का गली है what the fuck.
Dude, we had a public garden near our school, right? Like, and a lot of people would stay there because people stay in parks, right? Like, and what we'd
Wait, my
find.
story was not over.
Oh, yeah, go on. Please go on.
Just because third day the award ceremony is happening
Yeah.
where like whoever's won discuss throw lot of they get awards. Cricket teams get awards. They all go yeah, and then they call my name out. And I'm like, I have no sports ever
Yeah.
in my system. How they call? And I'm sitting over there with my friends, just like fapping around. And they're like, Navin, they're calling you, man. And I'm like, what? They're like, Navin, Narona, Marathi scholarship. I'm like,
You got a Marathi scholarship?
yeah, of all things, apparently I had scored the most in Marathi that
Whoa.
semester. So they gave me a Marathi and they gave money in an envelope. I was not equipped for this. And
Wow.
the way I got up, like just a dumbass, I got up and I'm like, me. And I did just dusted my sand drenched shorts. पीछे के सारे रोज गाली देने लग गए मेरे को because the wind just blew everything inside their eyes. And I'm like, that's I lick my dust, motherfuckers. I said, go and get my Marathi scholarship. And they gave me some 300 rupees, and I was like in heaven in 7th standard.
That's
Nice.
amazing.
Congratulations
Dude.
for the great
Yeah.
achievement.
Thanks.
That's great.
Me Marathi
Did you
आहे.
get a certificate?
We got one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's somewhere. It's not a thing I want to show off to people.
You sure? That's...
Yeah.
I had once written a Marathi poem in school. I used to write a lot of poetry in school, if bad poetry,
Oh
obviously.
yeah,
but-
yeah. Amateur.
Yeah. Oh man, amateur is also a strong word. For it. But I mean, not as worse as the shit that goes on Instagram these days. But like, and the teacher was like, I appreciate your effort, but please don't ever do this again.
Yeah.
Like she was like, I get it that you want to write poetry in each language and all,
Yeah.
but like, can you leave my language alone? Like, can you leave Marathi out of this? Because you're not good at this. You don't understand
Yeah.
this. So
we had our Marathi teacher was very nasal. So she would come into class, be like, Mulano. She would do this. And then one year I tried to write a like Marathi essay about my grandmom. And I couldn't figure out the Marathi word for jurya. Like which
What
is
is jewelry?
like rings on your face. Like as you grow older.
wrinkles.
Wrinkles.
Wrinkles,
I said
yeah.
jewelry.
So I wrote this one in Marathi. माझ्या आजीच्या चेहऱ्यावर rings आहे. And then on open house day, she like, what the fuck is what's with your grandmom? She fine. Why does she have rings on her face? And I was like,
My physics,
how I got a Marathi scholarship, it's beyond me actually.
my physics teacher had an accent like the Malayali, so
Oh.
unfortunately used to always call me needy. So it's just like, I don't know what to do.
Oh,
It's like,
shit,
my
yeah.
name was, like, butchered for
Mallu
years.
teachers are like, of course, like teach by virtue they are teachers because Mallu people are educated more than us, most of us.
Yeah.
Like literacy rate,
Much higher.
is much higher.
Yeah.
So that's how they.
Also very interesting that they stick to Malayalam. Like I've seen no in the sense
I
ki,
thought you meant like they're English teachers, but they also are Malayalam.
like in the sense ki I've heard people in Kerala talk like quantum physics, but in Malayalam.
Yeah,
like you know what I mean? Like which I
exactly.
think is fucking amazing because like you're keeping the thing and knowledge transference doesn't have to do with you being able to learn English. Which in
No, it's
Gujarati,
not. Yeah.
talking about quantum physics would be very difficult in Gujarati because the words aren't there only. You'll use all the English words only.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's a big scene. Did you guys have like a like I was very lucky with teachers because my teachers were always like कि
Pushing.
तू weird है पर तू ठीक है like तू कर like तू
Yeah.
कर ऐसा था कोई तुम्हारे स्कूल में
Yeah, all English teachers were damn nice. Yeah, they were all from like these hill stations, and they were very nice. And I think convent schools generally they have nice English teachers. That's why I thought writer, but of course
Yeah.
वो नहीं
Yeah.
हुआ. But
So most other teachers were okay with me, but the nuns like hated me with a
Really?
vengeance. Like in convent school only, they just like they figured out I'm fucking devil spawn somehow, And every chance I've been slapped or like, physically assaulted by a teacher, it's been
Wow.
a nun.
Oh no.
And I'm like, कितना frustration है यार.
Yeah,
मतलब
that's
जाके-
crazy. There was this one kid, like मेरे स्कूल में मारना तो बिल्कुल ही ये नहीं था, but this one kid, okay, this one kid had been baiting this professor for like 6 years, okay, like, and every time he would be like तुझे लाफा लगा दूंगा, and every time he would just laugh in his face because he knew कि तू मुझे नहीं मार सकता. फिर एक दिन सर ने मारा. And he waited like 6 years till 10th standard, you know what I mean? And everyone in class was like, oh, aisa kaise maar diya? And I was the only one sitting there going, bro, if anything was built up to in our entire school life, it was this slap. Like, I'm happy I saw it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were asking for it.
So I was talking to Neethi about coming on the podcast now, and I was like, yeah, I got married. She's like, yeah, I also got married. And you got married little before me, no? It's been now how long?
July, 1 month.
Yeah, 1 month before me.
Yeah.
And you all have a studio together now.
Yeah. It's called How About That? And it's a design and tech studio. So
And how does that work? Like, how is it working with...
It's interesting. It's nice. We get the best out of each other. And we know when to stay away from each other's lanes. Also.
Oh, that's
So
very
it's- I
important.
think
What does
it's
he do?
quite- He does strategy, UI, UX, all kind of like
Oh.
brand building things.
Oh.
So, yeah.
It's the brain and the brawn.
Yeah, I feel like it.
Which
it
one
works
is the
quite
brawn?
She is because she colors them.
Brown.
Brown.
Yeah.
I knew you would say.
I like how the least enthusiastic response so far has been, how has it been working with your husband?
Yeah. I'm like, tell us
I'm
more.
trying to-
Batao.
I'm
Yeah.
like trying to be professional with it, but
No,
like
bitch about it.
no,
How
no,
can it?
no,
How
no.
long is it? Is it professional? I find it very difficult. Like,
Really, no. It's so the thing is, we anyway talk about work quite a lot.
Yeah.
Like anytime I get a project or he gets a project, that's our dinner table conversation. So
Sure.
there's no sort of separation.
Yeah.
So it's always sort of symbiotic. Like, अच्छा ये discuss कर लिया, फिर चलो movie देखते हैं. तो
Oh.
थोड़ा ऐसा, it's quite nice like that. I
That's
feel
nice.
like
How did you all
sweet.
meet?
Yeah, so we met in Bombay 10 years ago. He had a shop called Bagel Wala. He
Okay.
was running it, was making bagels, and I used to go for free bagels.
Oh, okay.
And then one day he's like, will you paint my signboard? I was like, sure, signboard. And then why don't you come to my house to paint the signboard? And then I
Oh.
called him to my
Ah.
place and
Wow.
then
You called him to your house
Yeah.
to paint a signboard.
that he wanted.
Was he the board?
Paint me like one of your signboards.
I was just setting up for that one. But that's how we
very
met.
interesting. Yeah.
That's how we met. So then he pivoted, did quite a lot of things. He volunteered for AAP for a bit, and then
wow.
he volunteered for NGOs for a bit, and then now finally this is what we do together.
एंड में तो काम करना ही पड़ता है असली ना.
It's volunteering for you. Man.
No, but it was quite nice. So finally now we are in the same space in Bangalore, but he loves Bombay. He's a proper Bombay boy.
Good only.
Loves
As everyone should.
Yeah, you can't let that go. Like you can
You
enjoy.
can't.
Love it
life.
while it lasts is what I say. You know,
Yeah.
थोड़े साल में तो डूब जाएगा. तब तक ले लो जितना प्यार है इधर.
it. Yeah. No.
Dude, yesterday I saw some random aggro shit, dude, that I never used to see in Bombay.
What is
There
that?
was some guy who came to eat dosa outside of Mithi Bai. Okay, I was eating after my show. It was open. Chhat Puja din. And this guy, he comes and says, कोई भी तीखा या खट्टा सॉस नहीं चाहिए मुझे डोसे में. कौन सा बनेगा? And the guy is like, give 4 options. The guy said no to everything. Then he's like, तो Chinese ले लो. He's like, Chinese में chili sauce पड़ता है? He's like, हाँ पड़ता है. He's like, मत डालो. He's like, okay. अभी Chinese में शेजवान सॉस भी पड़ता है. Right? So the dosa comes. This guy, I've never seen this in Bombay. This guy gets aggro. Like
Oh,
in 2
no.
minutes, he's cussing at the dude and he's saying, I'll beat the fuck up. Tera dukaan band karwa dega. I'm standing next to him. Okay? I can see him fake calling someone and saying कि इधर BMC का कौन है मेरे को number भेज. And I just like looked at him and I was like, तू दिल्ली का है ना, like तू यहाँ का नहीं है, तू यहाँ का नहीं है, because ये मुंबई का लोग ये नहीं करता है बकचोदी. You know what I mean? Like we're very painfully aware of the fact that everybody has a hard life.
Yeah.
And you just because some
Yeah.
and डोसा वाला बोल रहा है ब्रो कि सामने से कि तुम मत खाओ ना, मैं बना के देता हूँ ना तुमको, कोई और डोसा दे देता हूँ.
Yeah. So it's
Okay,
sada
what?
dosa.
Yeah.
Same thing happened at PVR last time when Anuj and I went for the movie also. Like we are in the food line waiting to like buy something, and one guy just like phone, क्या हम लोग ये चालू हो गया इसका Karen behavior. He's got his phone on the server, and he's like कि Pepsi बोला था, क्या बोला था, Pepsi बोला था. And he's just doing this only constantly again and again. He's like कौन सा theater है, जो PVR आपका नाम क्या है? He's just doing all of this, and I'm like, look at Anuj, and I'm like, ये 5 follower को दिखाएगा अपने ये.
Yeah,
video
dude.
record
नहीं,
किया
yeah, and
हमने.
that's
What
the
fuck,
thing.
dude? Like
That's the thing, right? Like
it's not from Bombay. That
Yeah.
that man was not from.
outrage economy. If you are a true Mumbaiker, stop being such a piece of shit. You know what I mean? And like
Yeah.
form up, dude. It's a city where all in this together. डूबेंगे तो सब साथ में डूबेंगे बहनचोद.
And Mumbai is one of those cities where, like, again, like, I understand where Delhi aggression comes in, where you say say कि ये अच्छा नहीं लगा तो they'll be like गान मरा लो.
हाँ.
But Bombay में like कि अच्छा नहीं है, they'll work with you to make it better for you. They'll at least try to give you a better experience. But it's not like you get so aggro. I understand where you're coming from. It's like so unnecessary.
That's not the spirit of my city. Is what I'm saying. You know, and I was also born, raised, conceived, conceptualized everything in Bombay, dude.
Conceptualize. Yeah.
For sure, my parents thought about me.
Quite a lot.
Yeah, I don't think they were thinking about me specifically.
You don't think about him now.
Oh man, is that? Yeah, I think that's a good amount of stories to have swapped over the.
Unless
course
you
of
want
an
to
hour.
have something more to tell us.
Is there a story you have to tell us of all your travel trips?
Yeah, you've done art murals and everything. Like one thing that stands out for you.
I mean, I am planning to do quite a lot, so I'm doing a
Yeah, we were just
mural
about to
tour.
get to that, Neethi. Don't tell me about future. I'm asking
the
about past.
Yeah, delve in it.
I'm thinking about it. I've traveled quite a lot, but I think murals is something that I've just taken up
Yeah.
recently. So it's not that I'm going for.
Yeah.
I've been traveling for murals quite a lot, but I did work with WeWork where I was traveling
From
to all the
WeWork to
cities.
WeWork.
From WeWork to hopping, from
Like
here
a
to here.
Tarzan, like just.
Felt like that only because it was pretty crazy and pretty wild in terms of the timelines. And we opened quite a lot of buildings, some around 20-30 buildings in the span of 3 years when I was there.
Yeah.
And still doing well. And so did a lot of murals around it, Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore. So that was quite fun. And that sort of became the trigger point, or like initially the push that I got to do more of murals. And it's been going on since then now with brands, and now I'm doing quite a lot of community walls or like outside. So that's very interesting and exciting because taking it outside is a whole different, it's not the same at all. So I mean, just to talk about the Coimbatore mural, right, like Ukkadam one, it's amazing because it's in so Coimbatore is sort of like border between Kerala and Tamil Nadu, and they speak Tamil, but the dialect, they understand Malayalam.
Yeah.
So
They're close also though,
they're close.
linguistically.
They are, but they could be like depending on the wherever you are. So, so I would be on the suspender, the lift essentially, and every floor I would go to, all the people would come down, offer tea, whatever in the corridors, and I would talk to them in Malayalam. They'll talk to me in Tamil. I don't know what we understood, but it was very interesting. It was a very unique one.
Yeah, but everybody who speaks Malayalam understands Tamil, but they can't
Pretty
speak
much.
it.
Is that
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Is that how it is?
I think so. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't
I've like, even with my crew, like one part of the crew is like fairly Tamil people, and they'll be doing their Tamil, like, bitching, and then they found out one of our crew members is Malayali. She's like, oh fuck yeah, she understood everything. Yeah, it's one of those
you
things.
can catch and you can
okay.
understand the essence of what was said.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
What's coming up now?
Yeah, so I'm doing a mural tour with the French embassy, the Alliance France, and they are doing this thing called Bonjour India. It's a cultural exchange program and things like that. So part of that, I'm the one from India going to different cities. So one was in Delhi. I'm going to be doing murals in Bangalore, Bhopal, and Lucknow as part of this trip. So it's very exciting.
Yeah, dude, Bhopal is a very interesting place to go to if you end up going.
Yeah.
Have you been before?
I've not been to Bhopal, MP, but like not.
Bro, there's this museum in Bhopal you have to check out. Like they
Where?
have this, I think it's called the Tribal Museum, I think.
Okay.
This is Bhopal only. Bhopal? Cast? Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Dude, just go see it. It's
I
like
must.
tribal art, but reimagined as tribal. Like it's
Reimagined.
It's not like a city person's version of what tribal art is. It's like it's a OG version of this is what was
Amazing. I need
in
to
their
see
minds.
this.
Yeah, it's absolutely fascinating.
Oh, that's really
Yeah.
got to see that.
Yeah,
We should like make a consolidated list of these things. Like if you go to a different city,
Yeah.
like what do you do? Like
Yeah.
you just what do you do?
Yeah.
I
Like
actually like doing touristy things.
Yeah.
I mean, at least the first part of the.
I,
Because if you
there's a
do the
balance, I
tours-
feel. You know?
Yeah, I mean, depends on the city also, right?
Yeah.
If you go to these old cultural cities, their tourism ministry or whatever the tours that they are amazing. The guides are fabulous. They're well trained. They'll tell you the history of everything.
Yeah.
And so I had gone to Chanderi with this tour, and like it was amazing. They took me to a fort in a village, and like I saw the weaving and met the weavers and fabulous things. So I feel like it depends on the city to city. I feel like
for sure.
I feel like with local tour guides, my only thing is like language types. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where I'm like, okay, I get it that we don't speak the same language, but can we try?
Yeah.
Like, can we come halfway? Can you at least little bit, like, you know what I mean? And if you're not comfortable, I will get a translator myself.
Yeah.
But don't put yourself through the struggle. But then I also feel like that's how they'll get better at talking.
Have you? I mean, I have seen quite a lot of like these Udaipur and these kind of cities. They speak well. I mean, they
बड़े
speak
शहर में नहीं, like normal tourist place में वो
Tourist.
problem नहीं होता है. When you're like, अभी we went to Thrissur when we went to Kerala. and we went to this tiny little museum, and the lady knows everything.
Yeah.
But then the language is a barrier, you know. So now we have a friend with us, and I'm like telling the friend, just translate.
Right.
And she's like, no, but then she'll never get experience in doing an English tour. So then I feel like, okay, yeah, I get it. Like that balance has to be maintained. Like I don't mind being your practice audience.
Yeah.
In that case.
There's some like very new age Delhi boys also, like who are now taking up like the old city walk and everything, like to Chandni Chowk or to like Shahpur Jat and all. There's like a nuanced, like as you were saying, like homegrown OG perspective, but from people who have
studied it properly.
Exactly, they've consumed that properly, and they give you a perspective that is very refined and also not bastardized by like 20 other people. Like I was saying, remember Goa also, I was saying St. Francis Xavier. Like I had read everything about that church. I knew it because I'd read about it on my own. Okay, so when I went there with my college friends, this guide is trying to like fucking fully lie to people. And I'm just standing there just busting myths, okay? I'm like, the hand did not fly to Vatican. That's a bunch of lies. They send the hand to check if it's like
it's legit or
not, and if it's, you know, decomposing at what rate or whatever. That's why they kept it in a glass chamber. The body's by all means being preserved. It's not like, it's
on its own
trying or whatever. It was just like a bunch of lies that he was peddling. Like, you know, he's like, he died over here only. No, he did not. He died in fucking the Hong Kong coast, and he died poor and hungry. You know, so I've read about this, but don't lie to me. So it just made me very angry. So then he was angry that I was angry at him. And we both in the corridor of the church, we're just like, you telling lies to people. My friends were like, listen, Navin, just fucking leave.
Well, with Shubho, like, it's very difficult. She doesn't like the idea of getting a tour. She thinks it's like a waste of money. She's like, we do our own walking tour, and I'm like, but you can take the text thing and be like, oh, this building was made by this guy. But like, I need a person, like a living, breathing person to be like, you know, this. Tell me one of your stories about this place.
It,
you know what I mean?
Enthusiasm is what matters.
And me reading from a thing and walking in the heat is never going to be as enthusiastic as a person leading me through their hometown.
Quite a lot of times they come up with stories about other tourists and things like that. So, and this one guide with me in Chanderi, he has done a PhD.
Nice.
Because one of the foreign tourists who came, she was doing her thesis, and they allowed him to also take part in it, and then they became both part of the research. And
nice.
So it's insane, like insane stories.
But that's what, like, there are people who care about history, like, you know, and I feel like what is their place in a country like ours right now, or times like these where history matters less and less and facts don't matter at all.
Especially when we're a country where people come for the history, like they just want to absorb it and it's getting muddled.
And we are only adulterating our own history with random news and all of that jazz.
With like flying carpets and whatnot.
But I feel like that's where the art comes in, you know what I mean? Art immortalizes ideas, concepts and people that we hold dear. And I think it's like up to us to kind of like...
But it's been your favorite city so far to create art?
I mean, just because of the recency of it, the Coimbatore mural, that's been my favorite yet. And also the scale of it. It's a huge building.
Oh, wow. You're saying corridor-wise.
It is like a 3-story building.
Oh, wow.
So do you have to dangle outside and all? Like,
it's a lift which...
Okay, so they make like a scaffolding system.
No. It's a lift which gets, I don't know what it's
called. It's like a window cleaning wala lift.
So like an elevation.
So
you don't have a back support for...
You should wear all the safety gear.
You should.
Do you?
Yes.
She does.
Always.
On paper.
But it's still like you're chained, so it's not as easy to move everywhere.
Right.
And there's limitation to how many people can go, so you can't go more than 3 people at the same time. And the challenges are much different because you're working in rain. You have to go at 6 o'clock when the sun is breaking so that you avoid the afternoon sun. Because if it's white wall, you can't see anything. It reflects on your face and you can't see. And if it's raining, you can't work. In the night, it's difficult. So it's a whole different experience.
Glad I do comedy. It's just like fucking kamra bhi nahi chahiye, mic bhi nahi hai, chalega. Like bas kapde pehne sab log ne aaj, bas bahut ho gaya.
Sometimes we also can't see because of the flash.
I rarely, like if you're doing an auditorium, you can't see shit.
You can't see shit,
Right.
Just hear the sound.
We just turn into fucking sailors. Like, there's the land. That's how it is.
No eye contact to anybody. No?
Only the front row is like barely visible, and then everything else is just like.
If it's a smaller room, I pick 7 people, and then I keep looking at them. Like I pick in ratio, like one person who's not enjoying it at all. I pick 2, one person who's enjoying it way too much.
Like way too much. Laughing at every joke.
An entire theory to this crowd breakdown also. It's interesting. Awesome. I think we've.
This has been a good episode.
We haven't run out of stories. We never do. But if we keep chatting, to khana kab khayenge? You know?
And we have to go to lunch after this. You know what I mean? And not take Sparsh. That's the main point here. We're taking Jinx also. And everyone.
Come up, you also. Come.
You also come. Hey, thank you for coming, Neethi.
Thank you so much
If
for
the
having me.
people want to follow you, where can they follow your
Apart
work?
from the roads where you're painting.
That'd be great. Come follow me, help me paint. I'm always open to getting volunteers.
Be careful
But-
what you wish for.
yeah.
It's amazing. Always great to paint with people. But you can follow me on Instagram. My handle is Neethi. It's KNEETHEE. So yeah, that's it.
And Navin is the House of Neurona, and I am Kuch Bhi Mehta.
I'm
And
with
this-
the HK.
Yeah. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. Like, comment, share. What the fuck? I don't know, man.
I will
Yeah.
also do that.
And
be
join
happy.
the Saturday 12 p.m. live previews. Like
Yeah.
as they're going live, join the chats, do all of that. You know,
We'll
you'll-
be there.
Yeah.
We are there. If y'all are there, then we'll be there, is my point. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Us being there anyway is weird.
Just
Because
like,
we are there anyway.
Yeah, just like looking at us, looking at us. Chalo. Bye.
Bye.